You know Power BI, but still you have lots of questions in your mind. How does it happen? Why it happens? How can I do that? This is the series for you. Subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon to get the notifications. Hello and welcome to another video on abstract thesis series, and in today's video we would like to do ABC analysis. I've shown you in the past in one of the video how you can get ABC, but now what I would also like to have a filter or the count on ABC. So what is ABC analysis? So what we are going to do here is basically, let's say I have items. So how many items contribute, let's say 80%, how many contribute next 15%, and how many contribute last 5%. Okay. Because item is too big and we need to count each one of them, we will start with the brand and the same can be replicated for item. So now to begin this journey, let's jump onto the Power BI. In the Power BI, what I'm doing is I'm using my common model. You can get this file 80 small GitHub on the GitHub, and then you can use that. So let me tell you a little bit about this model. So in this one, what I have basically is, so I'm using this file which you can get from the GitHub. 80 small GitHub should be the name, and my model is basically here is basically I have a sales table which is joined with the date table with the sales date, and sales date is all doesn't have a timestamp. Date table is marked as a date table. It's a one-to-many single directional join. All those 6 things which we need to take care for a time dimension join, it is working fine with this. Then I have item basically which is joining on item ID. Then I have customer which is joining on customer ID, and then I have city table which is joining on city ID. And one more thing you can do is basically, let me tell you, you can do collapse also. You will only see the joint columns. So this is my schema, and this is the schema which I'm going to use today. And I have a major net basically, which is nothing but the sum of net sales, which I'm also going to use. Net sales is nothing but gross minus discount amount, which is net sales, and which is already a calculated column, and I'm using a sum of that. Now let's begin this journey. To begin this journey, we will bring in brand from the item dimension and net. I just dragged brand. It is going to create a table visual because it's text, so by default it's going to create table visual and net. Now let me sort net, because what I need here is basically the cumulative percentage of total, which I have already shown in the past video. So this time we are going to do a little bit lesser step to do that, and we are going to use Windows function and the recent change in the Windows function which allows us sorting even when we have the relative functionality use in the Windows function, which will allow us to create a cumulative. So first we'll create a cumulative, then we'll create a percentage of total in the cumulative, and then we are going to create ABC analysis, and then we are going to take the next step forward. So now let me create a measure here. So first of all, I want to create a cumulative net, which is for which I'm going to use Windows function. So this is how I'm going to create calculate, and let me make it a little bit bigger for you so that you can observe it. Calculate, and then I'm going to say net, and in the net I'm going to say next is basically Windows function. So I can say shift enter, and let me press escape so that suggestion goes away. Tab window function now, and then I'll start from one position. Relative absolute is fine, because what happened in case of cumulative, we start from the first position in the partition of first position available in the context. That's where we start, and then we create the absolute. We take it as an absolute first position. Second position we are going to take relative, basically zero relative. Zero relative means, so relative positions are current row positions. So relative 0 means the current row, related -1 means a row before, and relative +1 means next row, and so on. So let I want to give the third argument. So basically, which is yes, add columns we need, and rightly it has taken. We need add columns. We say all selected item brand, and on the all selected item brand, I need additionally the net sales. So I'm going to call it underscore net net. So this one is done. Now again, Alt enter or shift enter, then I need order by, which is my new column, and it might give an error here saying it's not going to identify that. Yes, it is not, but we'll continue with this and we'll close and calculate also. You can actually then shift and tab and you can bring it back. Okay, and then finally enter or right, you either click on this right button or click on enter, both should do. I'm crossing it now. Let me see, let me bring in the cumulative here. And now because I have done it in the ascending order, you are seeing the grand total here, but what I need it is in the descending order. So I'm going to change here the descending order. So topper on the top, and then the numbers are accumulating to the bound. Now we want to know where it is going to have the 80%, 90% ABC. So for that we need cumulative percent, isn't it? So let's make our task really easy now. We have already have the cumulative, so make cumulative percentage. Now if you want more space, you can actually go and click on this arrow. I made it big because so that you can see. Now what I need is basically divide, and then I'm going to say cumulative net, and below that I need grand total, which is nothing but calculate net all selected, and let me use all selected. Fine. So divide net cumulative by net all selected. That should give us cumulative percentage. Let's look at that, what happens in that case. And I need to mark that as a percentage column, isn't it? Now if you watched my previous video, I would like to say like, okay, the if it is, I can create a major, and let me create a major. So what I want is ABC major. So let me call it as a ABC major. And the way to calculate it, basically switch, we can use switch, and we can say true. And why I'm using true, because I want to use condition in each and every row, comma, alt enter, and let me do a little bit of tabbing here so that it comes on this side. What is the my condition basically is cumulative percentage is less than or equal to 0.8. See, we have marked it as percentage column. It is not percentage actually, it is just a ratio, so that's why it is there. Now let me copy this and comma at the end. Let me copy this, go to the next row, tab. If I press shift enter, it will take me there. 95, so 80%, then 95% is B, and then let me go to the next row, tab, C. If I would have pressed shift enter, it would have given me that one. Okay, so I have an ABC major. Now, but using this measure, I cannot count. I actually need a table where I can bring in this as a dimension. Now, there are two ways to do it. One of the way I could have created it based on the range, and second way is I create it based on the actual value. So I'll create a table which contain both, but I'm going to use only one type of join right now. So I'll say enter data and tell you how that you should actually create that table. So you can call it ABC. You can call it start range. And you can call it and range. Now because my values are already, I have a major A, B, C, I can join with this. If you don't want to have, then you can actually have this range which is between, and don't take less than equal to and greater than equal to. At one side you take only strictly less than or equal to. So here you can say greater than equal to, or you less than equal to, only one side you take it. Okay, don't take it both the sides, because that's why I'm having overlapping range. So okay, and here we can have a bigger value. And what you can do, you want to make sure that it is truly 80%, just not less than that. You can have here 0 0 0, and you can have 1, and you can have the same value here, little bit bigger decimal place value, and you can also have it 0 0 1, That should give you. Now I'm not going to tell you the range code. If you are watching my channel, you might have seen that, and I'll call it ABC bucket. Okay, and I'll say load. Now I got a bucket. How to use that bucket, isn't it? So now I wanted to know basically, if I bring in this ABC bucket here, ABC, I want to know how many brands are going to fall, that count. Then I can, once I sort out on the count, I can get the net value and all those. So I definitely need to create a new measure. So let me create a new measure. So what is going to my new measure is? So let me say new measure is count ABC. So I'll say count X, filter. What I'm going to filter? Now remember here, I want to filter when it is item brand. Things are summarized at item brand. So values, item brand. Then I say my measure, which is my measure? ABC measure. If you remember, ABC measure equals to my max of ABC bucket ABC. If you want range, then you have to use now start measure is less. You have to use the cumulative percentage is greater than equal to, and cumulative percentage is strictly less than. That you have to use. So I try to avoid that. That's why I have ABC. But you are, when you are using comparing the value ABC, to make sure there is no spaces, there is no small case, capital case problem, and all those. So anyway, both the cases you have to take care of certain things. So I have this, and then what I can do is I can even count my measure, or I even can count my brand. So I'll say let me count my brand. So let me count my brands. And you can see 733. So if you see here, this is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 3 3. That's my correct one. But the grand total is not correct. To correct the grand total, let me try out. Can I do this? And let me do one thing. Quite a few of you are asking that I don't do the formatting. So let me do a little bit of, let me make it sumx, and in the sumx let me enter this. So sumx, I need ABC bucket in the sumx as a table. Let me delete this. So hopefully you are able to understand it better now. So this is my context. Now here I basically, because I'm doing a calculation, so I'll prefer to give a calculate. And why I came, I should not override. That's why I created a space. Now I'll only say calculate, not calculate table. Sumx calculate. And now, so in the ABC table, row level, calculate, and simply. So what I'm saying, the entire calculation, I'm asking it to go to the ABC row level, because that's possible. I don't need to use values again and do it again. And I'm now wanted to save this one. I'm getting 13. So number is correct. Now if I want net, I can be able to get net for these three, isn't it? Now, so we know. So now let's just, how do we get net? So just we say count ABC, we copy this formula, we paste it. Okay, I lost the one. I go control C, control V, control V, net ABC. Now because that is a measure, I should be able to use net here. So because the measure belongs to model, so I should be able to use that. Let's look at net ABC. And instead of one place sumx, I need to have a count. Count X I need to replace with sumx. Both should be sumx. So now you can see the number is same, and then if we do little bit of formatting, Okay, it's a comparable number. Now you can add decimal places. So I got ABC, but let me duplicate this. What happens when I bring in something additional on this ABC? Okay. What's that an example? Let's say when I bring in month here or category, how it is going to react on that. So let's start with category because category doesn't have all the brands. So I would like to start with that. Now here I have a little bit of trouble now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort on category first. And inside that category, I'll press shift button and I'm going to sort on the net. Okay. Now you can see inside category 1, I'm only getting. So first of all, my cumulative is not is still coming on my grand total. That's the first problem which we see. So if you want to bring in something like category or something, it should not be there. So what should I do is basically, I need to create all the formulas. So right now what I can do is basically, I can go ahead and say, okay, instead of this one, let me change it here. Cumulative percentage, I can say remove filters, item, brand. Fine. So now you see, and what happens now when I say this almost remains same because item brand is the only thing which is playing role here. So it worked here and it all worked here also for us. That seems like it's working or not. We have to see. So in the category 1, I see this now. I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 B's and 1 C. And then I have category 2 where again I see 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I see 3B and then I see 1 C. Okay. Now what happens when I bring in category C into this visual? I bring in category C in this visual. I sort on that. And definitely I would like a next sort to be here. So I shift ABC. So count of ABC here is in the category 1 is 5. Okay. Then I have 2 B's. Okay. And then I have 1 C. Now the number is 1.2 million and all those that we have to see how much that number is. For that we might have to take help from a matrix visual instead of this one. Okay. So maybe the matrix visual is something which can help in that case. So let's see if we convert this to matrix visual, does it help better? Okay. So, and when we make this as matrix visual, okay. So 177,855 category A, that's correct. And if you total manually also, you should get these kind of numbers. Now you can see, this distribution coming for you and the numbers of the total is also coming correct. Okay. We have 8 here. We have 9, which we have basically 4, 3 and 2. So you can see here 4, 3 and 2 in this category. And then we have category 3, we only have 6, which is 2A, 2B and 2C. Category 4, we have 8 now. 1, 5 here, I think. Then 2 here and 1 here. Okay. So now we are able to do. So this seems pretty fine. Let's call it category ABC analysis. We have changed one function. Okay. And let's duplicate this. Can we do it with month here? Can we do it with month year or year? Okay, month year is going to be a long one. Okay, but we would like to check that out. So we bring in date table. Now remember, these two are coming from the same dimension. Now we are trying to add a twist where we are saying no, this is not a same dimension. This is a different dimension which is coming together with for you. Now let's look at this. Now don't go by this subtotal category because we are anyway not interested in that. So seems like something is working here at least for January 2019. And then our month here is not sorted because we were sorting on the net. Now, why this is giving us data? That because when we created, we have not handled the null value properly. That's why it is giving. That we can always do. So let's remove this. Let's bring in month here. Let's leave all these. Let's expand. And let's check here. 733. 13 should be the answer. Now, is it 733? Now, problem here is if we sort there, we can't sort on major. Okay. And ABC is a major here. We have to manually count it. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's do one thing. Major we can sort descending. Okay, so let's look at January 2019. So January 2019, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7A, 3 and 3. Then comes December 2018, which is again 733. Seems like it is 7, 3 and 3 because it's just 95%. Now here again it seems like February also it is 733. So let's see, is it a consistent distribution or something is changing? Here we have a change. October 2020 is something, or September 2020 is something where we have some changes. And this is because of manipulated data what we have. This because almost fall in the same kind of category. Now, but we can do this ABC analysis and this is happening. Now this count ABC, as you can see, basically, it is the one which is basically having some challenges. So let's go to count ABC. And here we are saying can we add and not is blank net. Just wanted to experiment with that. Now seems much better. Okay, so small changes. How do you handle the values? Because there we are working with dimensions, 2 dimensions, and one of them is independent. No mention of a net because the join was happening between this is ABC. Major is basically created based kind treat. It's a major, but blank value when you join with the dimension, it does result in. Okay, so that's why we have to explicitly call, or we could have called this ABC is not blank also. That is also possible. Net is not blank or ABC major is not blank. But explicitly call because the left hand side has some value where we have the blank value, then it's going to give us the results. That's why we need to handle the additional condition. So now we are able to do ABC analysis on brand. We taken the brand and added category, still able to do. We added month here, still able to do. Now same thing, you can take it back to the item dimension. Now when you take item and there is an item ID, you might also experiment. Instead of having this values item brand, you can only use item table because you are at the lowest level. Item ID is at the lowest level, so you will be able to do. Like here I have not used values, I simply use the table because at the lowest level the ABC is available at the lowest level. So now you know how to do ABC analysis and how you can extend that ABC analysis within the subcategories. So go ahead and try this out and do let me know what else you want me to cover in this particular series. Thanks for watching this video. Thank you. Keep watching, keep asking questions in comments, subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so that you can get notification for new videos. Thank you.